and welcome to Season 10 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship, right here in Mexico City.
Well, first of all, can we just embrace how good it is to be back?
Oh, for sure.
It's amazing.
Missed it, man.
It's a season opener, but it's not just any season opener.
Oh, no.
What we're going to be experiencing this weekend is history, because this is the 10th season of Formula E, 10 years of electric street racing around the world. Just think about all those things that have happened since Beijing in 2014.
No, don't get too ahead of yourself, Saunders. Got plenty more that we will also be looking at in the show today.
Absolutely.
What have we got coming up?
Well, we're going to talk about drivers, because with any new season, there have been some movements. We'll be taking you through how the grid is shaping up for this season. And we're going to be talking to some drivers about what it's like racing here in Mexico City.
But as promised, we're going to be with Nikki Shields looking back at some of the key moments and the most exciting moments in Formula E history.
It's been almost a decade since Formula E first electrified the streets of some of the world's greatest cities. So let's take a look back at some of the highlights from the last 10 years. Formula E began with a bang in Beijing in 2014, with Nico Prost and Nick Heidfeld battling for the win on the very last corner of the last lap.
Heidfeld goes to the inside line and they make contact and they're both off, and that's an accident for Nick Heidfeld.
Whilst both drivers walked away unscathed, it was Lucas di Grassi who picked up the pieces to become Formula E's debut winner. Sebastian Buemi and Lucas di Grassi entered the 2016 season finale in Battersea Park, London, tied on points at the top of the championship, and it didn't take long for the tension to boil over.
Into the left-hander he goes side by side. Oh, he hits him! I don't believe it! It's happened immediately!
A car swap followed, and now it all came down to who could set the fastest lap time to decide the championship. Ultimately, it was Buemi who secured the title in unique fashion. The 2019 Mexico City E-Prix played host to one of the most dramatic finishes in Formula E history. Pole sitter Pascal Wehrlein found himself defending heavily in the closing laps from a hard-charging Lucas di Grassi.
Because Lucas! Di Grassi up the inside and Wehrlein goes straight on!
Running low on usable energy, Wehrlein was forced to lift off the throttle right before the finish line, giving di Grassi the opening he needed to snatch an unlikely victory.
What a mad end to the Mexico City E-Prix!
In 2021, Formula E raced on the full-length Circuit de Monaco for the very first time, having run on an abridged version of the iconic street track since 2015. An intense three-way battle would ensue between Robin Frijns, Mitch Evans and Antonio Felix da Costa, locked in wheel-to-wheel combat right down to the very last turn.
Da Costa to the outside and to the lead! All locked up, gets it stopped! Da Costa wins in Monaco!
2021 was also the year the series attained World Championship status, and coming into the final round in Berlin, many drivers were still in the hunt to be crowned the first ever Formula E World Champion. But it all fell apart for Mitch Evans and Eduardo Mortara right at the start.
We go green in Berlin, and Evans doesn't move, and he's been hit! Mitch Evans has been hit by Eduardo Mortara, two title contenders out instantly!
And a short while later, rookie contender Jake Dennis had his hopes shattered too.
Dennis is in the wall! Jake Dennis has lost it!
Leaving Nick de Vries to pick up the pieces, the Dutchman battling his way to the finish line to become the first Formula E World Champion. When Antonio Felix da Costa started in 11th place in the 2023 Cape Town E-Prix, few would have predicted a podium finish for the Tag Heuer Porsche driver. But while others made mistakes,
Pascal Wehrlein careers into the back of Sebastian Buemi. Into the wall, Max Günther.
da Costa kept his nose clean. It all came down to a penultimate lap battle between da Costa and his old teammate Jean-Eric Vergne, both vying for their first win of 2023. But it would take a near impossible move executed to perfection to seal the victory.
You did it, mate!
And in this milestone year for the all-electric series, we're guaranteed more show-stopping action from around the globe.
So many moments.
So cool.
We're gifted to have that many moments in just 10 years of racing in Formula E. Great to see some of those back then as well. But for me, that Lucas di Grassi moment that just happened over there.
Oh, so mega.
Oh my word. It was incredible.
Outrageous.
To see. Outrageous to think, after a whole race, that
Yeah.
happening in the final moments is absolutely incredible.
And it must have been pandemonium down here when that happened, surely.
Well, very special because by chance, absolute look like fluke and chance and luck,
Yeah.
we were filming a takeover with Audi Sport and
Oh,
Audi
no
McNish
way.
the same day. So I was in the garage
That's really
as it
cool.
all unfolded and kind of part of the team enjoying all the emotion. Yeah, it was very, 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 very cool indeed. I do think though that if you really wanted to, you could make a highlights reel with a moment from every single Formula E race. There's always something. There's always a moment in every race. I think it'd be very possible.
I think that's what makes Formula E so exciting, what you said just then, that there's a special moment in every race, something to cling on to, something to talk about.
Sure.
And people here love it, right? Like, if you work in this paddock, you have to care about the sport so deeply. And I think that passion carries over onto the track. With the records that the Gen 3 car broke last season, I cannot wait to see what we have coming up for us this year.
Well said. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a brand new highlight, epic moment that happens this weekend. But first, let's talk more about the drivers that are going to be racing this season. Here's how the grid is shaping up for the season ahead.
Season 10 is here, and with it comes the promise of more thrilling wheel-to-wheel action from our field of world-class drivers. 2024 will see a major shake-up with just 3 teams in the paddock with the same lineup as last year. So it's time now to get up to speed with the who, the what and where of our runners and riders. First up, this year's defending world champion Jake Dennis continues his alliance with Andretti. The two now a proven winning formula after his heroics last season. And the Brits can't wait to hit the ground running in another season with the American outfit.
Season 10's coming up, my 4th year of Andretti, and yeah, it's sort of just flown by. You know, not only my years in Formula E, but so my off season. Only feels like the other day we were at London. So yeah, hopefully we can deliver some really strong results. You know, we've never really had the chance to fight for the constructors over my years with Andretti. So hopefully now we can have both cars scoring high points and yeah, take it to the other manufacturers, to Porsche, to try and win the constructors.
Dennis will be joined by the Frenchman Norman Nasso to complete Andretti's lineup as he makes a move from Nissan, replacing the outgoing Andre Lotterer. They'll be hoping to knock Envision Racing off the top spot, who claimed the team's championship title in the final race of the season last year. They welcome back Robin Freins, who rejoins the team after a difficult year with Abd Cupra last season.
It's good to be back. They showed last season that they're capable of winning and they won a team championship. They just missed out on the drivers' championship. I'm here to win the drivers' championship, obviously. So I'm not here to finishing second, third or fourth. I'm here to win. For me, that's quite clear. I put a lot of pressure on myself to be on top of my game. And you know, as long as you're always competitive, you always get the maximum out of the car. You win a few races, you're on a podium a few times. For sure, you're in a good position by the end of the year.
Freins joins Formula E stalwart Sebastian Buemi, who returns for his 2nd year at Envision. The Season 2 champion will be eager to build on his 6th place in 2023. Meanwhile, it's a full shake-up for Mahindra Racing as former champion Nick De Vries returns to the series with the Indian outfit. Eduardo Mortara completing the lineup in a move from Maserati MSG Racing, the Swiss hoping to get back to winning ways in Season 10.
With Nick, it's been great. We have quite a good relationship. We know each other since quite some time now. Obviously competing always against each other, but now we're teammates, and hopefully his experience and my experience, you know, we can help the team, you know, to do better.
After his mid-season split from Mahindra last year, Oliver Rowland returns to his former team Nissan. The Brit excited to rejoin the team, with whom he took his maiden Formula E victory.
It feels great to be back with Nissan. Obviously spent 3 years here before, had some great results, had some great times. I had a very good relationship with the team, so to be back there for this year is great, something that I'm really looking forward to. And I think with their trajectory as well in terms of results and performance at the end of last season, I really think that we can have a strong season, and I'm really looking forward to it.
They'll be joined by Sasha Fenestras, who will no doubt be looking to build on his successful rookie year in Season 9, aiming to convert his qualifying pace into podiums. It's a new look for ERT, formerly Neo 333, but the lineup remains the same. Dan Ticktum and Sergio Sette Camara renew their campaign for the Chinese team for another season.
My expectations coming into the season were that it was going to be another struggle, but you know, one lap pace was strong, and I think the whole team really got the most out of the package. Yeah, I think me and Sergio are a strong pairing, which helps. I think he had a difficult year last year, but if we can both score more points, then Hope we can do a bit better in the team standings as well.
With both drivers showing flashes of promise in 2023, ERT will be angling for some more top 10 finishes over the next 17 rounds.
And we will come to the rest of the grid later on in the show. But first of all, I want to pick a few names out of that little clip because Robin Freins, for me, is one that we should be talking about and isn't getting enough kind of credit going into this season. I'd argue that he's returning to a team he knows well. It's a championship winning car. If he won a race this weekend, I would not be surprised.
Early prediction? Well,
I said it.
I'm going to go even earlier and say I think we could see him in the qualifying
Dude,
tours.
that was my early prediction.
No, I think you're right though. I think you've got nail on the head. I think we can expect to see a lot from Robin Freins.
No pressure.
And plus, he needs to get the laps in here because he only got about 3 in last season in the race before that crash. Unfortunately,
Ouch, Saunders.
So he needs to, I'm sure he's going to be keen to get back out there and racing again.
But who else should we be looking at this weekend, Saunders?
I think obviously we need to look at the guy that's trying to do something that only one person has ever been able to do before, and that is retain a championship title. That's what Jake Dennis hopes to do. Jean-Eric Vergne's the only person that's done it before. Obviously easier said than done, but if last season is anything to go by, all the ingredients are there. The big question is just how much has changed in the off-season. How much of that gap have other teams, and namely Jaguar, Porsche, Envision, been able to bridge? How many developments have they made to really put the pressure on Jake Dennis and Andretti? We'll find out this weekend, I guess.
And what a stage for us to have all of this unfolding on, because Mexico City, an incredible track here.
It's just epic. It's such a joy to come back here because guaranteed, there's going to be moments. Guaranteed, the racing is going to be great here. It's in front of a really passionate crowd. It's really good to visit here as a place. Yeah, I think we're very lucky to be able to do a season opener here again for the second year in a row.
Let's see what our drivers had to say about racing here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez.
Mexico is amazing. I mean, just going there, of course, it's, let's say, in a way, South America. I speak the language, I speak Spanish, I live in Argentina, so I kind of feel home in a way. I've got a huge support, actually, of Mexicans, which when I went last year for my first time, it was amazing.
I think Mexico has established itself as one of the iconic rounds of Formula E. Obviously, the way the track is, it's a race that always has so much action, so much drama.
Oh, let go. That's very mechanical.
It's just a super awesome event. Formula E do a great job of marketing it and bringing in the fans. The sort of baseball stadium effect you have in Sector 3 is really cool. You can hear the fans every time you go through that phase of the track.
On that final lap, I could really hear them cheering.
One of my favourites on the calendar. Very high speed, quite easy to overtake at as well. Lots of overtaking. So overall, it just creates such a great opening event for Formula E.
Yes, Mexican fans are amazing. They are really passionate about motorsport or sports in general. And yeah, being in the car, you can hear them every lap, cheering for you. It's something which is cool. You're going to be plenty of them again this weekend. We try to provide the best show.
It's always a very high energy demanding racetrack, so there's a lot of energy management, a lot of strategy.
Energy remaining is 88.9.
There's always a lot of chaos. It's a track that you can overtake, so there's a lot of planning ahead for this race.
The biggest thing is just no mistakes. It's the first race of the year, so there's a lot of new software in the car. And last year you saw people making a lot of mistakes. They didn't quite understand the car. So it's really, at that point, just trying to put a clean lap together, no lockups, and important Sector 3. It's very slow speed, and that's where you gain a lot of lap time or lose a lot of lap time. So trying to keep the tyre alive for Sector 3 and not take too much out of it is important. I'm confident. I'm sure we can do a good job. It won't be an 8-second lead, that's for sure, but if we can win by 1/10, that's all what matters.
I have this thing in my mind that the podium could be quite nice, but I've never been able to make it, so that's definitely a target for me.
Everyone's way smarter now, way more ready to operate this car at a higher level, so I'm expecting an even harder race and an even harder season this year.
And that is one of the best things about racing in Mexico City, isn't it, Saunders? Just the fans here, the passion, it's amazing.
I can't imagine what it must be like being a driver behind the wheel, coming through this section, and you can hear 20, 30, 40, 50,000 fans just passionate from lights to flag. That must be a very cool experience for the drivers.
100%.
But it's obviously a very cool experience for the fans as well, because they get, it's not just a quick in and out, you know, at one corner and the cars are gone. They have got this whole section here, you know, all the way around the Forest Sol, and then they've got attack mode where races have been won or lost on a number of occasions here in Mexico.
That's very true.
Which means obviously it's good for you, everyone watching at home as well. But before we get too carried away in that, let's talk more about which drivers these fans and fans at home might be cheering for. Here's part 2 of our runners and riders for season 10.
DS Penske have always had a foreboding lineup in Stoffel Van Dorn and Jean-Eric Verne, with 3 championship titles between them. Whilst in season 9, this manifested as a singular win for the Franco-American team. Expect these 2 experienced drivers to be well and truly in the title fight this season.
Hopefully going into next season we can make another jump forward. I think it's very clear for us where we were lacking last season. Now it's just a question of can we improve all these areas and really challenge for victories and titles again. So we'll have to wait and see.
In possibly the strongest pairing of the season, Jaguar TCS Racing will feature an all-Kiwi lineup as Nick Cassidy joins forces with Mitch Evans. Finishing 2nd and 3rd respectively last year, both drivers will be gunning for World Championship winning glory in season 10.
No one's sleeping. There's going to be a lot of guys who are in strong positions come Mexico. The championship's always moving forward, people are always developing, and we've got to make sure that between us we're doing the same and not only keeping where we were competitively but moving forwards.
I'm just looking forward to getting back into a fresh season, starting off strong and just hopefully having a bit more of a consistent year compared to last year. The aim is to get that World Championship for Jaguar.
It's an all-British affair for Neon McLaren in 2024, as Jake Hughes is joined by Sam Bird, who will swap the monochrome of Jaguar for the team's iconic papaya colours this season. The British outfit will be hoping to capitalise on Hughes' potential and Bird's experience to improve upon their 8th place finish in 2023.
My rookie season I was quite happy with. I think it was a solid first year in Formula E. In terms of what I can learn from Sam, I think everything. You know, he's in his 10th season now at Formula E, so what he doesn't know about Formula E is probably not worth knowing. Hopefully we'll work together to make the team further up the grid. We understood, I think, a lot of what we could improve on last year, and that's what we're going to be looking to do this season.
A challenging return to the series for Abs Cupra saw the team finish at the bottom of the standings in season 9. This year they'll be hoping to turn their luck around with a driver who saw them to championship-winning glory in season 3, as Lucas de Grassi reunites with the team. He joins Nico Müller, who will remain with the German outfit for a 2nd year. It was a season of highs and lows for Tag Heuer Porsche in 2023, their championship challenge faltering despite a very strong start for Pascal Wehrlein. Consistency will be key for the German driver as he heads into season 10 with teammate Antonio Felix da Costa, who'll be hoping to chalk up a few more wins after his Cape Town heroics in season 9.
We always have high expectations of our seasons, and especially last year has been quite strong. So we finished P4 in the Drivers' and Teams Championship. Our clear goal is to win more races, fight for the championship and to improve further.
Whilst Maximilian Günther might have been a race winner last season, it wasn't all smooth sailing for Maserati MSG, as the team settled into their first year of the all-electric series. Back for season 10, Günther will now be joined by the only rookie in the field, Jehan de Ruvela, who steps up into a full-time seat after a year as Mahindra's reserve driver.
It's been great to be working with Maserati so far. I've been in Monaco for a whole month, learning, getting up to speed, meeting all the people. It's been awesome. Yesterday I had the first real taste of the Gen 3 car. It's definitely different from what I'm used to, so there's definitely going to be a lot of learning to do, a lot of adapting to do before I arrive to Mexico for the first race.
Really lovely to hear from Jehan there, especially as the only rookie in season 10.
Yeah, and I don't want to add any more pressure on his shoulders, but there is a bit of a sequence of events, let's say, within that team, both as Venturi and Maserati. Think back to when Norman Nato joined.
Okay.
Got a win in his first season. Lucas de Grassi, win in his first season. Maximilian Günther, win in his first season. Will it be the same story, though, for the rookie de Ruvela? I mean, it's a big ask.
Oh, for sure, especially when he's got some serious competition that he's going up against this year. Who are we looking at, Saunders?
I can't believe I'm saying this because I've never had this sort of thought at the start of a season ever in Formula E before, but I'm actually really struggling to see past Jaguar.
Okay.
I just think they've got everything, all the ingredients needed to do well this season. You know, obviously in the same sense, it also might cause them a few headaches because they've got two very capable drivers. Mitch Evans being in the hunt for the championship in multiple seasons, most recently Nick Cassidy. They've got a championship winning powertrain. Everything just seems to be in the right direction for them. And I can't believe I'm saying that before the first race has even happened.
You don't want to jinx them, Saunders. Come on now.
God, they'd never talk to me again, would they?
No, I don't think we're ever getting another Jaguar interview, mate. We're done. Sorry, guys, we're done.
But I'm sure there's other people. Is there anyone else that you're kind of going to have an eye on this weekend?
I think, well, he's not Mexican, but I want to call him Mr. Mexico. It's Lucas Di Grassi, because he knows how to win here. He knows how to put on a show, right? He's had several wins, several podiums, several magical performances. And even with Mahindra last season, it wasn't the most competitive package, but he found a way to pull it off and get pole position and a podium. Same powertrain with Abt Cupra this year. However, it's still a really big ask with so many other teams having made massive progression across last season. I don't know if he can do it, but I hope he'll put on a real show for these fans.
It is a big ask, like you say, but Di Grassi has got some sort of magic bag of Mexico magic dust. So it doesn't seem to matter what season we come here, he can do something of note, be it
something spicy,
winning from the pit lane, be it having his car basically smashed to smithereens and still managing to get a podium, or whatever it is, he does great things. Obviously we saw it earlier, that moment against Pascal Wehrlein, winning on the line, just a couple of metres before the finish line. So yeah, big ask, but that's a good shout, Alexa.
A little bit of season 10 magic coming up,
Let's see what happens.
Well, that's it from us. All of the action is about to start unfolding. Season 10, it's on.
The wait is over. World Championship is. We're back and we're ready. Starting with the world's fastest tracks on the calendar, Mexico City.
The roaring energy of Foro Sol.
The only place in the world where you hear the fans roar while racing.